Hey you, like and subscribe. Why, you may ask? We haven't really figured that out yet. What do we tell them? No, dude, we want them to, bro, like, is the content's not even, just play the video. What is going on, guys? Raph here, and in today's video, guys, I'm launching a brand new series. The series is called Raph Talk. So essentially what this series is going to be is I'm just going to be talking about any single topic that there is. It could be something that I like, it could be something that I don't really know about, but essentially I'm just gonna really just give my opinion on the topic and what I think about it. And as you probably already know by the title, this video's topic is gonna be what I personally think is the best gaming system right now. But before I get into that, guys, I got some other stuff I gotta take care of first. Firstly, I'd like to thank you guys so much for killing it on the last video. I know I did a reaction and those can tend to get more views, but KSI is my favorite YouTuber, bro. I've been watching this guy since like 2013, and I'm just hyped that video did really well. And also the channel hit 1K views. I mean, to me that's fucking phenomenal, but to other people that's like they get that within a minute. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that the channel's growing, I'm having fun making videos, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The 4 consoles that I'm going to be covering in this video are the PlayStation, the Xbox, the Nintendo Switch, and a PC.
Oh my god, bro, this isn't even a debate. It's obviously a PC. You can carry way better hardware on it. It's much bigger, so you can have more of it. Just everything about PC gaming is better.
Now, what little Timothy here isn't taking into account is the price and the convenience. But don't worry, I'll get into those things later on. When it comes to gaming systems, the criteria is different for everyone. Some people care about the price. Money is a big issue for many people out there. Not everyone is fortunate enough to be put into a family where money is not a problem. Some people care about the exclusives for the system, such as how PlayStation has The Last of Us and God of War, and Xbox has Halo. And some people care about the input that they will be using for comfortability. Now, what I mean by input is the controller that they will be using. So PlayStation has the DualShock 4, Xbox has the Xbox controller, Nintendo Switch has the Joy-Cons, and of course a PC has keyboard and mouse. When it comes to price, a PC is going to end up costing you the most amount of money. Even if you make a budget build, it's still going to cost more than it would if you bought PS4, an Xbox, or a Switch. You can also spend a ridiculous amount of money on a PC, but obviously it'll perform really well. The peripherals for a PC can also cost much more than the controllers would cost for the consoles. Now, the next most expensive console is the PlayStation. If you buy a PlayStation Slim with 1TB hard drive, it will cost about $379.99. And if you buy a PlayStation Pro, it'll cost about $499.99. Now, a controller for a PlayStation will cost you about $75. The third most expensive console will be the Nintendo Switch. Now, this will cost about $400. And lastly, the cheapest console that you'll be able to buy is the Xbox One S, which is about $300, and the Xbox One X, which is about $400. Oh, and by the way, these are Canadian prices and before tax. So if you live in America or anywhere else in the world, I'm sure you can do the conversion. Now, the actual hardware for the consoles is one thing, but for the PS4, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch, you have to pay an online membership to be able to play online against other people. The PlayStation and the Xbox both have a membership fee of $70 every year, and the Nintendo Switch has a fee of $25 every year. Again, this is in Canada, so if you don't live in Canada, do the conversions yourself, buddy. Now that we've dealt with the price, let's check each specs of each console. Up on the screen, I have shown pictures of each console's specs. The Nintendo Switch comes in at the weakest console naturally because of the size. The Nintendo Switch is also meant for portable gameplay, which means that they're going to have to make the console smaller, which will limit the amount of hardware that they can store inside of it. The Nintendo Switch can also only output 1080p by 60 frames, which in today's day is not the best. When it comes to the Xbox One X and the PlayStation Pro, the Xbox One X slightly overpasses the PS4 Pro. The Xbox not only takes over the PlayStation in the gaming side of things, but also in the entertainment side of things, as it has a 4K UHD Blu-ray optical drive, whereas the PlayStation can only take HD and 3D Blu-rays. The Xbox One X has a significantly higher memory bandwidth, which essentially allows everything you're seeing to load and display faster, which increases the number of frames produced, and no one complains about more frames. And for the PC side of things, I've shown Tifu's gaming PC that he uses when he's streaming. Now, as you can see, he is using pretty top of the line specs. He has an Nvidia GeForce RTX 2080 Ti and Intel Core i9 9900K processor. And it hurts to read everything else because I cannot even fathom how much money this must have cost. Now let's get into the exclusives that each console can give you. Some of the exclusives that come with the PlayStation are God of War, Spider-Man, Bloodborne, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Uncharted. Now obviously the PlayStation has many more exclusives to offer, as they're popping up on the screen right now. I just decided to list a few just to give you guys a little taste. Some of the exclusives the Xbox has are Halo, Gears of War, Sea of Thieves, Crackdown 3, and Forza Horizon. Now I want you guys to also keep in mind that Microsoft owns Xbox, and obviously Microsoft runs Windows, so games that you see on PC are also going to be on Xbox as well. As for the Nintendo Switch, pretty much anything Nintendo you're gonna see on that, obviously, because Nintendo are the people who created it. So if you want to play games like Pokemon, if you want to play games that involve Mario, the Nintendo Switch is where you want to be. Exclusives aren't really the strong point for PC gaming. Although there are tons of indie games that are released weekly, there are not many AAA titles that are exclusively released to the PC, unless you talk about games like Valorant. Now that we've talked about the prices, the hardware, and the exclusives that each console has to offer, let's dive into the inputs and the controllers that you will be using to play. Firstly, let's take a look at the Nintendo Joy-Cons. Now, if you've been a long-time fan of Nintendo and you've tried out the Wii, the Wii U, then you know movement is a huge key part of their controller. Some features that the Joy-Cons include are motion control and HD rumble. This really allows for an immersive feeling, and especially when you're playing games that require a lot of movement, the motion control will really help with that. Nintendo also has a Pro Controller that you can use with the Nintendo Switch, which offers you a significantly higher battery life, which is about 40 hours compared to the Joy-Con 6 hours. The Pro Controller is also cheaper, but you will have to buy that separately after you've bought a Nintendo Switch. Overall, the Pro Controller is a great option for people that don't really care about the collaborative aspect that the Joy-Cons bring to the table. Moving on to the Xbox and Nintendo Switch Pro Controller have a lot in common. They're both very rigid in design, and they have analog sticks which are on the top left and bottom right of the controller. The Xbox controller has trigger rumble motors and haptic feedback triggers. This in total would allow for a more immersive gameplay when you're playing on the Xbox. Now on to the second last input of the day, the PlayStation 4 DualShock 4. The DualShock 4 has a much more rounded appearance and feeling. The PlayStation 4 controller also has a light bar which is at the top of the controller. The light bar identifies what player is in the game, and it also allows for a more immersive experience as it changes colors depending on what happens in the game. For example, if you are being chased in GTA by the police, the light bar will flash blue and red. The PlayStation 4 controller also has a rumble feature which allows for a more immersive feeling. Just like every other controller, it'll move depending on what's happening in the game. Lastly, let's talk about keyboard and mouse. Now, the main off factor when it comes to keyboard and mouse are the RGB lights. Many people can't resist spending premium prices just so the lights shine brighter. When you compare a keyboard and mouse to the normal controllers of an Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo Switch, the main feature is that there are many more programmable keybinds and buttons you can have for keyboard and mouse. Due to you using a mouse on a keyboard and mouse input, you're able to turn and look at corners much faster than you can with a controller, which has a consistent sensitivity. PCs also have the ability to have controllers connected to them in case the user doesn't like keyboard and mouse. Overall, the learning curve for keyboard and mouse is a much more tedious and difficult journey than if you wanted to just pick up a controller and play. That about wraps up all I wanted to talk about regarding the best gaming system. Let me know down in the comments below if I missed something or if I misguided you on something. Now when it comes to my verdict on what the best gaming system is, can I get a drum roll please? Everything. Now before you all go like, oh my god, he just wasted 9 minutes of my life, oh my god. Let me explain. There's too many factors to just generally pick one console that's the best. That's a very stupid idea to have. If that were the case, I would have agreed with little Timothy earlier on in the video, and I would have said, yeah, it's just a PC, and I would have ended it right there. But that's not the case. Going back to what I said, everyone's criteria is different. I hate the whole war of what's the best gaming console, because you can't just pick what the best console is. It's different for everyone individually. It's just such unnecessary conflict. Now I am being a little hypocritical because I have been the one to make those comments, but I'm making this video for myself and for other people to let you guys know that it's just unnecessary. Why are you trying to make other people feel bad for what they have or what their parents worked their ass off to buy their kids? It should just be about, if you're having fun, then good for you. To end off the video, I will give my opinion on what console works for what person. If you want to have fun playing exclusive games that are very story driven, go for the PlayStation 4. If you want to have a gaming system as well as an entertainment system, the Xbox is probably good for you. If you want to be able to have a portable gaming device such as the Nintendo Switch, who can guess what I'm about to say? Get the Nintendo Switch. And if you're rich as hell and you have enough money and you're willing to make the long-term investment, buy that Tfue PC.